Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Matt DeAndrea. I'm Superintendent of Schools. A couple things I want to point out. There are some cookies over there. I don't know if anyone took advantage of them, but there's cookies and water. And I'm telling you, they are the best cookies you will ever eat. They are made by our cafeteria. You need to take one, and you'll say, he was right. And there's water there too, so please take advantage of that. Tonight, we will recognize staff that have worked with the Wareham Public Schools for 20 years, staff that have been here for 30 years, and staff that are retiring. Congratulations to all of our staff who will be recognized this evening. We will begin with our staff members who have been with the Wareham Public Schools for 20 years. Unfortunately, the following individuals who have been with the schools for 20 years are unable to join us this evening. Sonia Rogers and Craig Berrialt. Would you please give them a round of applause? So the staff member who is being recognized, we're going to ask that staff member to come down here and stand next to the podium so they'll be fully embarrassed. And each of you will then, we'll speak a little bit about you, and then each of you will receive a gift and congratulations from our school committee members. Ladies and gentlemen, our school committee is to our left. Our school committee does a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes for the schools, and would you please just say thank you to them for all their work. Okay, we're going to start with the 20 years. I was told to inform the 20-year recipients that the 20-year pins that you will receive are on back order, but you will receive a replacement pin. So you'll receive the replacement pin, and when the new pins come in, you'll also receive that. So you'll get the replacement pin and the original pin. So you're going to get the bonus gift on that. So you guys are very lucky. And we will start with Bethany Chandler, who will speak a little bit about Jennifer Madeira. So Jennifer will come down.
I have the distinct pleasure of recognizing from Wareham Elementary School the 20-year and 30-year veterans today. And I'm going to begin with my very good friend Jen Medeiros. Jen Medeiros is celebrating reaching 20 years of remarkable service for Wareham Public Schools. I'm going off script. Jen began her career back at West Wareham School when it was open as a kindergarten teacher. So it's been closed for some time now, which shows how long Jen's been here. The thing about Jen is that she has this wonderful, brave spirit about her. She's a very grounded teacher, and she's a very connected teacher. And that's what I always have thought of Jen. We even had, speaking of grounded, we used to have these tapping classes she would offer for staff. I would go to them all the time to keep me grounded as school principal. And that is Jen's energy. She's positive, she's kind, she's thoughtful, she's intuitive, and she is a she's a student's teacher. Just to let you know, when you think about Jen, the impact she has had, I can call to Charlotte, who just wrote to Jen the other day and named her the best teacher she has ever had. And another student who couldn't even come to the last day of school, now she's an adult, and just recognized Jen because she said she was too difficult to attend the final day of school because she would miss her teacher so much. She has a gift for making children feel safe and valued, a quality that likely stems from her deep love and joy she finds with her own children, Skylar and Hayden. Beyond her teaching, Jen is a constant source of support for her colleagues. Miss Barrett, one of her greatest colleagues and friends, said she is consistently warm, inviting, and the first to offer a helping hand to anyone in need. Her 20 years of service is a testament to the light and reliability she brings to our community every single day. And I always thought it was so cool that we used to jump in the water. So this is how brave this woman is. We started a polar plunge club at Wareham Elementary School. And we thought it was so neat. And I think there was about 20 of us. And there was Jen. She wasn't part of our club. She was just always there. She was jumping in that cold, bitter water for years before we even started the polar plunge. And that just goes to show the type of spirit she has. She's brave, she can take those Atlantic waters, and she can take that first grade classroom as well. And that's a little bit about Jen Medeiros. Congratulations in 20 years.
Thank you.
I'd now like to call Lisa Simmons Mayo to the podium, please. I haven't known Lisa as long, but boy, when I met her, I got to know her very quickly. She has the smile on this woman's face every single day. She's celebrating her 20 years of service, defined by her bright smile and her unmistakable, infectious laugh. I don't know if it beats mine, but it's a close second. As a dedicated preschool paraprofessional at Wareham Elementary School, Lisa is deeply proud of her work in applied behavior analysis, and she brings a great joy to our preschool halls, where her sunshine-filled spirit makes her a favorite among her students and colleagues. Those who work with Lisa know that her sense of humor is her superpower. She possesses the rare, wonderful quality of never taking herself too seriously. You know what I'm going to talk about? You do? Okay, good. I'm glad. A trait best exemplified by the legendary video of her falling off of her swing. She loves to see people fall. And one day, we saw her fall, and we played it over and over again. She swung, she flipped over, and it was a lot of fun for all of us to watch. Those of you who've seen the video back there, you know what I'm talking about. But the fact is, she laughed at herself. The fact is, she can laugh at herself, perhaps even harder than any one of us ever did, proves why she's such a delight to be around. She finds the humor in life's trips and stumbles, reminding everyone around her how to keep things in perspective. Outside the classroom, Lisa's a mother of 4, devoted by Matt, Ryan, and the twins, Michael and Kyle, who we know very well. Matt and Ryan, the twins, and Michael and Kylie. When she isn't busy with her family and her students, she is an amazing crocheter. I always watched her, I never could learn. Bringing the same patience and creativity to her craft as she does her career. Lisa, thank you for 20 years serving at Wareham Public School. Continue 20 or do you want to start 30? Sarah, stop.
I'm doing interns. Signs of conflict.
Come on down, Mr. Palladino, who's going to present his 20 years service. There you go.
Thank you. I'd like to call down Ms. Kasner, who made it back from the Unified Track meet. Come on down, Ms. Kasner. Cash, as she's affectionately known. One of my former students, I might add. So now I feel really old because you've been here 20 years. Okay, so Megan Kasner, as I mentioned, is a proud Wareham High School graduate from the class of 1999. During her time at Wareham High School, she was a 3-sport athlete, competing in soccer, basketball, and softball, and she excelled in all 3. Before continuing her soccer career at Providence College, after that she competed at Providence College in soccer, which is Division I soccer, by the way, and she graduated from Providence College in 2003. And she went on to earn a master's degree at Providence College in 2010, followed by another master's degree in reading from AIC in 2012. Following her undergraduate studies, Megan began her career working at the Groton Center for Autism in Providence. And then in 2006, she joined Wareham High School, becoming the final hire of our principal, John Amaral, before his retirement. Over the past 20 years, Megan has made a significant contribution both in the classroom and through athletics. She has been a special education teacher working in our young adult population and has served as a role model for many staff members to observe. She coached girls soccer for 18 years. In addition, she coached junior varsity softball for 6 seasons and girls basketball for 4 seasons. In 2017, Megan played a pivotal role in expanding opportunities for students, founding the Unified Track and Field program at Wareham High School. Under her leadership, the team has achieved tremendous success, culminating in a Division II state championship in 2024. Her work helped lay the foundation for the continued growth of the unified sports at Wareham High School, including the addition of unified basketball and unified strength and conditioning, allowing many students to participate and thrive as multi-sport athletes. Beyond her professional contributions, Megan has demonstrated a deep commitment to the Wareham High School community, dedicating countless hours to coaching and supporting athletic programs, including as a scorekeeper, and she has to wear an official's shirt when she does that, by the way, at all of our home basketball games. With the support of her partner, Cheryl, and her daughters, Madison and Reese, she has balanced her professional responsibilities and family life. In recent years, she has had to step back from coaching at Wareham High School to support her daughters in their own athletics and extracurricular pursuits. I want to congratulate Megan Cadger on 20 excellent years, and I wish you 20 more at Wareham High School. How's that?
Congrats, Cash.
I'm going to introduce Marie Ferreira, who is our Transportation Director, who's going to speak next.
Start.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll Mike down those calls.
All right, that's fair.
This is a privilege for me. Lori, come on down. I've known Lori forever. She is a townie, product of the Wareham school systems. I'm proud to be her supervisor. She is a fantastic and amazing bus driver. Her kids that she transports are like her own. And she comes up with these stories. I gotta tell you this, I gotta tell you that. And it's wonderful stories about how she treats the kids like they're her own, and books and stuff. And she does have her own. And one's getting married, and every day I get to see new pictures. This is my dress. Do you want to see my dress? Do you want to see my shoes? And she's an amazing driver, and for 20 years, I couldn't ask to have a better employee than Lori. And I'm retiring, and she's going to be one of the ones that I miss a lot. She did the parades, we decorated buses for the parades, and she took over Turning Point, where she sits, and now 2 days, I rolled her into 2 days, and she collects toys for Turning Point for Christmas. So we're very, very fortunate to have Lori as a school employee in our system. Congratulations, Lori, 20 years.
Okay, folks, now we're going to transition to our staff who have been with the Wareham Public Schools for 30 years. So welcome back, Bethany, to speak about Christine Ansel.
Thank you, Dr. DeAndrea. This is going to be fun. Okay, Miss Ansel, come on down. You're the next contestant on Wareham Public Schools. Miss Ansel, 30 years tenure at Wareham Public Schools, testament to her enduring dedication and professional spirit. Her journey began 3 decades ago in the 1900s at West Wareham School, where, as a substitute I would watch her, She was just not a secretary. Back in the 1900s, you could have many hats. And at West Wareham, she was the secretary and the first aid nurse. That's what she was. And it was wonderful working with the 5-year-olds at the time who are not 5 anymore. And we had a good time at that small school, and Jen was there too. So that was her small community, and that's where she began. Throughout her career, particularly during her many years at Deacon's School, Chris has been an anchor on our administrative team. And a lot of the gangs here tonight, I can see. She's known for her reliability, knowledge, and here are her spreadsheets. I'll talk about that in a minute. Whether she was managing the daily complexities of a busy front office or handling our occasional wildlife at Deacon's School, trust me, we caught more wildlife together than, or just the safety, the wildlife in the school we worked on too. We had a lot of laughs together. Chris has always prioritized a positive and collaborative school culture. Outside of her professional life, Chris can be found outdoors with her family. A new avid camper she is. Chris spends her time with her greatest joy, her grandson, Michael. And the families out there too. She loves them too. But Michael, that is her pride and joy. Professionally, she remains the district's go-to expert on data organization. I don't know if you work with Chris, you know about her pivot tables. If I hear about pivot, yes, the pivot table. She's like, I'll create a pivot table for you, Bethany. Okay, thank you, Chris. I could use a pivot table. And that's what she did. Her Excel pivot tables. Her 30 years of service have left a lasting mark on Wareham, blending her knowledge of pivot tables and data analysis with a genuine warmth. And she has supported generations with her kindness and friendship. And now I have the distinct pleasure of calling down guidance counselor Lisa Taviano with her 30 years. Another remarkable Wareham Public School staff member. Lisa's 30-year career began at Deacon's School. Then she went to Minot and then West. Did I miss anything, Lisa? I didn't think so. And she has served as guidance counselor for 30 straight years, sometimes my guidance counselor during bus duty on many occasions. She's been a steady source of support for students and staff alike. Her commitment to the district is underscored by her remarkable reliability. And let me tell you about reliability. School committee, attendance, perfect score. She hasn't missed one day. Perfect attendance. Remarkable reliability. Evidenced this year by her perfect attendance record. Lisa doesn't just show up, she leads by example because she is our attendance superhero. Often flying around Wareham Elementary School with a cape, really supporting and trying to bring our attendance to where it needs to be. And there you go. She's showcasing that by her perfect attendance. Beyond her professional role, Lisa is a spirited member of the Wareham community, whether she is braving the icy waters. Again, she's a polar plunger with us. She jumped in that water with a butterfly costume on. It was the most remarkable thing I have seen. Tending to her garden. I don't know if you've seen the Wareham Elementary School gardens, but if you haven't, they're a treasure. And this is the woman who really makes that happen. She is out there with a garden hose. There's more gardening going on. It's just unbelievable. And Lisa's got quite a green thumb. And she brings that energy to everything she does. Nature extends her personal life, and particularly with a recent purchase, so she loves nature. And one particular day, she loved nature so much that she just bought nature. And she, and she came to the bus station and she goes, I've made a big mistake, I think, but I just bought a lot of property in New Hampshire. And she calls it her great big money pit. It serves, and she loves it though. And the waterfalls are flying there. So she's going to be working 30 years, and now she's going to be working another 30 years just to support her great big money pit that she's bought with her New Hampshire project on her way. But her blend of professional excellence, humor, and community involvement makes her an exceptional role model for both her colleagues and the many students she has guided through her distinguished career as guidance counselor. Thank you, Lisa.
I'd like to call up James Kutu. James, or Jimmy as we know, Kudo or Kuchu, depending on how you say it. I say Kudo. Is a proud Wareham High School graduate. He has been a dedicated and valuable member of the Wareham Public Schools community for over 3 decades. He began his career as a middle school substitute custodian from 1991 to 1996 before being hired in April 1996 as a middle school custodian. During his time there, Jimmy consistently stepped up, filling in as both a head and lead custodian, demonstrating not only his reliability, but also his strong work ethic and natural leadership. In 2015, Jimmy transitioned to Wareham High School, where he continued to make a positive and lasting impact on students and staff alike. In 2021, he was named lead custodian of Wareham High School, a role he proudly holds today. In his position, Jimmy plays a critical role in maintaining a safe, clean, and welcoming environment, often going above and beyond to support the daily and nighttime needs of a comprehensive high school. His willingness to lend a hand, no matter the task, whether it's to put up a plaque in my office, Ricky, has made him a trusted and respected presence throughout the building. Beyond his work in the school district, Jimmy is deeply connected to the community. He serves as a high school and youth basketball official and is an avid sports card collector. A former Wareham basketball player, he holds the distinction of scoring the first three-pointer in school history, an achievement that reflects his long-standing connection to Wareham High School athletics. Jimmy's impact goes far beyond his job title. As former principal Barry Rabinovich once said, there are 600 kids, and then there is Jimmy Kudo. Some thought that was a comment about his maturity. I have always taken that as a testament to the meaningful relationships he builds and the genuine care he shows for everyone in the school community. Jimmy resides in Carver with his wife Kelly Andrews Kutu, and I want to just commend him on making the decision to come over to Wareham High School and the impact he's had on our school. It's great at night for Ricky and myself to know that Jimmy's in charge, and he's awesome with the communication, and the staff I know really appreciate knowing you're there to support them. So Jimmy, congratulations on 30 years of service.
Okay, so finally, ladies and gentlemen, we will recognize our retirees this evening. We have several retirees that were unable to make it. I would like to say thank you to the following retirees: Wendy Andrews, Nancy Cedarholm, Kathy Harung, Rick Paling, Sheila Lee, Jennifer Grimaldi, Keith Pettipaw, and Mary Shaw. thank them all for their service to the Wareham Public Schools. I have the honor of recognizing our first retiree whose impact on the district spans not just years but generations. Marie? Marie Ferrera. For 30 years, Marie has been a steady and caring presence for our students and families. She has served in many roles: paraprofessional, bus driver, after-school and summer program teacher, and since 2022, transportation director. For many years, she quite literally guided students through their entire day, safely transporting them to and from school while supporting them in the classroom during the day. Her care for students has always gone beyond her responsibilities of the job. In 1997, Marie was recognized by the district for saving the life of a student on her bus, an extraordinary act that reflects her composure, awareness, and compassion. A proud graduate of Wareham High School, class of 1978. Am I right about that? In that neighborhood. Marie dedicated her career to giving back to the community that she calls home. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Whatever you are," Abraham Lincoln once said, "Whatever you are, be a good one." Marie has embodied those words in every role she has held and in every life she has touched. Marie, as you retire on October 7th, we thank you for your decades of service, your compassion, and your commitment to the students and families. Your impact on this district will never be forgotten. Congratulations and best wishes.
She was a tennis star.
Oh, yes, I'm on the wall at Start School.
Jimmy, you better clean that up. I'll take it now. Okay, please welcome to the podium Mr. Dan Sylvester, principal of the elementary school, and he will speak about Mary Beth Elliott Lever.
This is probably one of the more challenging things I've ever had to do, to be honest with you. Getting to know people within a building as large as our building is. I did have to recruit a bunch of people to give me a lot of information about all the people that we have retired. We have quite a few retirees, and I wanted to be as personal as I possibly could. Being a new person,
When I handed in my resignation.
So was a challenge, but I think I had some good resources. So when I say we, I mean a lot of good people in our building who gave me the information that I needed to get these speeches underway. So I appreciate all the help that I did get. And it doesn't go without notice. Every time I talk to teachers, I'm always impressed and proud of them for all the dedication that they've done throughout their life, because it is a huge commitment to become a teacher and to work within the schools as well. So. That being said, Mary Beth Elliott. They say you can measure a person's impact by the stories people tell about them when they aren't in the room. Even though I haven't had the pleasure of knowing Mary Beth Elliott Claver personally, very long, I feel like I know her. In every hallway and classroom, people talk about two things: her incredible dedication and her students, to her students, and her sense of humor. Mary Beth is one of those rare people who always has her heart in the right place. She hasn't just been a paraprofessional, she's been a champion for student success, a source of laughter when things get stressful, and steady hand for everyone around her. Her influence is so strong that it's actually become a family legacy. We are so lucky to have her granddaughter working within our building, carrying on the same spark and following in her grandmother's footsteps. It is the ultimate thank you. Thank you to see your life's work inspired the next generation. Mary Beth, as you trade in the school calendar for your own schedule, we wish you nothing but the best. We know you're looking forward to more time with your family and plenty of trips to New Hampshire and to relax and to enjoy life. Thank you for everything you've given to the school. May your retirement be filled with family, travel, and plenty of reasons to keep laughing. Helen Bateman. Helen Bateman, as she was walking down, one of the first teachers I met in the building as I came in. She was the first person to come to my office and welcome me to the building. So we got to know each other pretty quickly as I started in this position. And she's been a very good support system for me. I go to her occasionally, and she offered to kind of give me some insights as I need, so I really appreciated that right out of the gate. So, that being said, we honor a truly dedicated educator. For years, Helen Bateman has been a guiding light at Wareham Elementary School, bringing a steady hand and a deep commitment to every student who walked in her classroom. Helen, your colleagues know you as a professional who never stops seeking growth, not just for your students, but for yourself. Whether you're working with Title I support or leading your grade 2 classroom, you prioritize the individual needs of every child, ensuring they felt both challenged and supported. You've been a teacher's teacher, always ready to share wisdom, build on years of experience in the Wareham Public Schools. I also want to acknowledge that this past year has been especially challenging. During this time, I've been amazed at your commitment and dedication to your family. They are incredibly lucky to have you and your unwavering support. As you turn the page in this new chapter, you can finally enjoy the gift of time. Time to spend with your spouse and family without the constraints of school bells. May you find time to travel and fulfill all your dreams and goals. Helen, thank you for your years of tireless service. You have left an incredible legacy of curiosity and kindness behind. Julie Cardoso. Ready? So, congratulations. First of all, Julie, again, another individual that I spoke with early on when I came on board, so I do appreciate the support that you came to me and talked to me and encouraged me and gave me advice as well, so I do appreciate that as well. They say that home is where the heart is, and for Julie Cardozo, that home has always been Wareham, born and raised right here. Julie didn't just grow up in this community, she spent the last 33 years building it, one student at a time, right here in Wareham. Julie has a rare gift. She meets every child exactly where they need to be. Whether a student needs an extra academic push or a little more emotional sunshine, Julie is there with her signature gentle smile and that firm, consistent teaching style we all admire. In Ms. Cardoso's room, no victory is too small to celebrate. She makes sure every milestone is met with a cheer. She has always been the keeper of that elementary magic. From singing monthly songs together to the legendary tradition of making cranberry relish at Thanksgiving, Julie kept the joy of childhood front and center for her students. Julie, as you trade your lesson plans for relaxation, we know your heart is heading home to your favorite people. Your husband Dan, Isaac, Phoebe, and Ben, who, in the greatest tribute of all, Ben followed in your footsteps, becoming a teacher himself, and currently teaching at our school as well. I am sure Lacey, and Finn are also looking forward to having you around for more walks and treats. We are so excited that your next chapter of travel and family time, please know that your legacy remains in the Wareham Elementary School hallways. You've shaped generations of Wareham children, and we are all better for it. Who's up next? Let's see. I have Michelle LaFrancois. Michelle and I have got to know each other very well this year. We have some mutual friends in her classroom, so we spend a lot of time together this year, so we've gotten to know each other very quickly. And I do appreciate all the work that she's put in this year with her students. She meets every challenge that comes her way with grace and patience and persistence, which is needed with so many of our students, so we do appreciate that. And appreciate all the work that you've done this year so far. There is something incredibly special about a teacher who spends their entire life giving back to the place that raised them. Michelle LaFrancois is a true Wareham original. Proud Wareham High alumni who took that Viking spirit and spent 32 years pouring it back into our children and our community. But when we talk about Michelle's time here, we aren't just talking about her years of service. We're talking about her strength. Michelle is more than a dedicated educator. She is a warrior. She faced down some health issues with the same grit and determination she brought to her classroom. And standing here today to celebrate her retirement feels like a double victory. Michelle, you have spent over 3 decades caring for this town, and now it's time to focus on the people who call you Mom and Grandma. We know Rob is ready for his next chapter, and your kids, Trenton, Rebecca, Brooke, and Danica, Tyler, Crystal, Amber, and Kayla are so lucky to have more of your time. But we all know the real stars of the show are Holden, Nixon, Willow, Jack, Nevaeh, Jacob, and Baby Boy on the way. Baby Boy on the way. Those grandkids are about to have the best full-time playmate imaginable. As Michelle prepares to chase the sun somewhere down south, she leaves behind a legacy of resilience and local pride that won't soon be forgotten. Michelle, may your retirement be filled with warm breezes, plenty of sunshine, and the joy of a healthy life with your beautiful family. You've earned every second of it. Carrie Snyder. Carrie is legendary. You've got the longest speech for tonight because I got the most information. It is a privilege to celebrate a career that has been defined by steadfast dedication and a heart of service. Carrie Snyder has spent 35 years in the classroom with an incredible 32 and a half of those years right here in Wareham. While she has become a pillar of this community, Carrie's roots take us back to Seekonk, where she was born and raised. Her journey in education was shaped by the values of her time at Bishop Feehan and her years at Fordham University in the Bronx. Experiences that clearly instilled in her the grit, wisdom, and excellence she has brought to the school every single day. Carrie, for over 3 decades, you have been a constant in the lives of Wareham families. You've seen generations grow, change, and succeed, always providing them with a steady hand and a wealth of knowledge. Your commitment to this district has been nothing short of legendary. Carrie, your interests are as eclectic as they are impressive. Your collection of indie perfumes and your love of the Boston Bruins and your deep dive into functional nutrition. We know your to-be read pile is mountainous. And honestly, we suspect that you'll never actually finish it because there's too many mountains to hike and too many waters in Buzzards Bay to kayak. But as we all know, Carrie doesn't just teach, she lives. When she isn't in the classroom, she's a self-proclaimed gym rat and a member of the Appalachian Mountain Club, a long-distance bike rider, and if she isn't on the wheels, she's likely behind the wheel of her classic avocado green VW bug. Bus. Heading to visit family and friends with her husband and their faithful Bichon Fozzie. In this next chapter, we know we'll find you enjoying the sunshine on Silver Shell Beach, catching up with your family and finally enjoying the luxury of never setting an alarm clock, which we all look forward to. We will miss your incredible baking and your talent as a hostess, but we are all secretly excited that our favorite pet sitter might finally have a wide open schedule. A special thanks to Kelly Burke. She really helped me out with this one. That's it. Am I done? Got a few backup speeches just in case. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Russo, the principal of Wareham Middle School. It's an honor to be here tonight. First, I would like to recognize Miss Mary Beth Kernan. Mary Beth is being recognized for not only 20 years of service, she's also being recognized for her retirement. So this is going to be kind of hard for us. 20 years. In the world of education, 20 years isn't just a length of time. It is a legacy built on one small victory at a time. Today, we gather to celebrate a woman who has spent 2 decades making the impossible possible for the students of Wareham. Thank you, Mary Beth. As an occupational therapist, Mary Beth's work often happens behind the scenes, but the results are front and center. If you walk through the halls of Wareham Middle School, you can see her impact in the confidence of a student who has finally mastered a fine motor skill, or the independence of a child who found their footing under her highly effective and always patient guidance. Mary Beth doesn't just teach skills, she builds the foundation for her students to navigate the world with dignity. Beyond the classroom and the therapy room, Mary Beth's passion found a second home on the field. As a fierce advocate and facilitator of our unified sports program, she has been the engine behind its growth. She understood early on that sports aren't just about the score. They're about inclusion, teamwork, and the joy of belonging. Because of her hard work and constant encouragement, our program hasn't just grown in numbers, it has grown in spirit. She has taught us that every student deserves a chance to hear the crowd cheer for them. Mary Beth, you have been a pillar of support for your colleagues and a life-changing force for your students. You've advocated for those who needed a voice and cheered the loudest for those who've reached their goals. As you head into this next chapter, know that the Wareham Viking pride runs deep, and your influence will remain in every classroom and on every unified sports court for years to come. Please join me in a round of applause for a remarkable career and an even more remarkable person. Congratulations. Next, I would like to call down Ms. Sue Tabor. I call Sue a Viking legend. Together today, we gather to say see you later. I'm not saying goodbye. To a woman who essentially is the heartbeat of Wareham Middle School. Most of us know Sue Tabor as the pillar of our science department, but Sue has lived many lives. Before she was a Viking, she was a Salve Regina University graduate with a degree in criminal justice, spending her days as a private investigator. Honestly, that explains a lot. Nothing gets past Sue Tabor. Sue joined us 32 years ago, spending her first decade as a dedicated paraprofessional. She even worked in Mrs. Cote's classroom. She then transitioned into the role of a 7th grade science teacher, where she has spent literally the last 22 years sparking curiosity for all of our students. But if you look at a sheer list of what Sue has done for Wareham, it's hard to imagine when she ever actually slept. She's been a field hockey coach, the junior engineering club advisor, a nature's classroom advisor. She's also the science department chairperson, 11 years in that position. And I also like to call her the voice of the game. She's been to managing and helping at lots of basketball and football games. She works those games, and I love it because I always get a report the next morning. And perhaps most impressively, or perhaps terrifyingly, depending on who you ask, Sue has taught at least 20% of the drivers in Wareham. We've all seen her on Viking Drive, patiently or firmly explaining that one-way signs are not suggestions, and showing students how to parallel park without taking out that curb. On a personal note, I've known Sue 11 years. She was one of my very first friends in this town. She was the one who walked me into my first school committee meeting and showed me what it meant to be part of this community. Sue doesn't just work at Wareham Public Schools. She is Wareham Public Schools. Her Viking pride isn't just a slogan, it's how she lives. She has mentored us, taught our children, and kept us all in line with that PI, level sharp wit. Sue, thank you for 32 years of heart, science, and sanity. You left an incredible mark on this town, and we're happy that you have your next chapter. However, Viking Drive is not going to feel the same. It's going to be a lot quieter without you. Congratulations.
No.
Sit down, sir.
Who's gonna make it fast? We're out of time.
Is that a request?
Have a seat.
Oh, okay. So, I tore up my 5 and 10 page speech because I learned from my source that this particular individual believes in the saying, brevity is the soul of wit. So, to keep Dr. DeAndrea happy, okay, I am going to perhaps not be witty, but I will be brief. First, you should know that I appreciate, and I suspect my colleagues on the school committee also greatly appreciate that we are looking at not only people who have served the community extraordinarily well and long, but in a enterprise that is exceedingly difficult. I spent my career in healthcare. And there are a lot of comparisons because they're both intensely service-oriented. But candidly, I learned enough to know that what you do is even more difficult. So I applaud all of you. Yes, I shook your hands, but some of you may not realize how much I appreciate the effort that goes into being a successful part of, in this case, Wareham Public Schools. In this case, I will tell you that after 30 years, we are incredibly lucky that Dr. DeAndrea actually returned to his roots, as they say, to have his final 4 years serving the children of Wareham. When you're in a position where the buck stops here, I worked hard for that dramatic moment. It's not only has the potential for being incredibly gratifying and impactful, it's also really difficult. So I would appreciate a huge round of applause for 30 years of service, not only to the community, but specifically to Wareham Public Schools children.
Thank you very much. I do. I get to give a speech. That's correct. Thank you, everyone. So first of all, congratulations again to all tonight's recipients. Thank you to all of you for your attendance tonight. Please, on your way out, grab a cookie. I'm telling you, you will thank me. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome all to the Wareham School Committee meeting for May 7th, 2026. Please, if you would, stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first order of business is congratulations to Joyce Bakayaki and Kevin Bajoli on their re-election. Well done. That being said, we need to reorganize the committee, and we will start with the chair. So I ask, is there anyone who would like to make a motion to name a chair of the school committee?
I nominate Jeff Sweat to remain chair for this upcoming year.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? You're chair. Approved.
And just for the record, I did hear him say earlier tonight at the award ceremony, the brevity is the soul of wit.
No, that was his favorite expression.
Oh, okay.
You forgot abstain.
Oh, abstain? Okay, it passes. The motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Chairman, and the meeting is yours.
Thank you. And also, I appreciate the respect and and I hope I continue to do the best job possible, given our human limitations that we all have. But I refuse to be gagged, just to be clear. I have a reputation after all. I will now accept nominations for vice chair. Is there anybody who would like to nominate someone for vice chair?
I'll nominate Kevin Brajali as vice chair.
Second.
Anybody else want to make a nomination? Okay, I will declare the nominations closed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I'll abstain.
401. And we have a final position of secretary. Would anybody like to make a nomination for secretary of the school committee?
I'd like to nominate Joyce Bakayaki.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? I'll declare the nominations closed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I'll abstain.
Consistency is also
Yes, yes.
a good thing. Thank you, both of you, for willing to serve again. We also have to have payment authorization for both bill warrants, payroll, and alternates. This is an important thing. It also requires visiting the central office on a routine basis. I promise to make myself available whenever possible, unless I'm out playing tennis in Tallahassee. But I would like to hear if anybody would like to do it, to be the alternate for bill warrants and payroll.
I'm willing to be an alternate again.
Okay, I appreciate that. Joyce, are you willing to be an alternate as well if Kevin can't make it?
Yes, and it's worked out in the past that if I'm the alternate for the payroll, because some of the payrolls Kevin isn't
Yes,
able to
exactly.
sign, so.
Yes, and I have that same issue, which Kevin jumps in, and most of the time we don't share a conflict, so that would involve you as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Does that need to be a motion?
yes,
I make a motion to assign the payroll designee as the chair and the alternate designees as the vice chair and the secretary.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 500. Okay, I think we're all set with our duties. Do you agree? I'm not sure anybody gave credit to John Day and Jamie Wixton for the fact that they're doing good deeds, meaning they're recording and taking notes and making sure that we are in compliance with the meeting duties. So, Mr. Day is doing it for WCTV, and for the school committee, it's Mrs. Wixton. Okay, public participation. Is anybody here who would like to address the committee? Hearing none. Then we get to move on to good news. Besides the fact that our colleagues were reelected, which I considered very good news. Yes,
I was also going to thank the other nominee who ran for the other candidates who ran for school committee as well, for their dedication and their effort and want to help put forth their efforts to help Wareham Public Schools as well. It was a close race, and I'm honored to have Kevin and Joyce back on, but also want to recognize Jordan and Nancy for their efforts in wanting to be a part of this as well.
I completely concur, and my only disappointment was not that the fact that it was a nice close race, which is what democracy is all about. I was not happy that it looked like there were only about 1,100 votes, and a healthy democracy would get a much higher percentage of the public taking an interest in what we and the Board of Selectmen and the rest of the people who ran for office. Now, having said that, there were a number of offices where there was no competition, and I understand the lack of enthusiasm for vote for one and there's only one person to vote for. Nevertheless, I think we should all hope that more people come out to vote in Wareham because it is part of the democracy. Any other good news that people would like to share? Yes.
I have good news. Actually, I have a few things, if you'll indulge me.
And whoa, just for the record, you are not allowed to steal from Priscilla. You understand that?
Okay.
Okay.
No, I don't think anything that I'm going to say will steal from Priscilla. So,
My job as chair to protect you.
I might be stealing from Scott or Matt, but I'll just briefly speak about it, and then I'll let them fill the rest in. First, I just want to say I just rushed back tonight from the sectional meet for Unified Track. So the high school Unified Track team competed today at Durfee with lots of other teams from the area. Another great day for the track team. And I know that some athletes, students from the middle school also competed this week at a unified sports event at Tabor Academy. And it just makes me happy that so many of our students are able to participate in those types of events. Also, I wanted to say that at the candidates' night, so you spoke about the election, at the candidates' night, one of the things that was discussed was the para contract. And I just want to say that after the election, yesterday morning, the first thing I did was email the superintendent and ask him to move that date up if that's possible. So I'm really hoping that we're able to accelerate that process in any way that we can. What else did I want to mention? Oh, I wanted to mention that I visited the Council on Aging a couple of weeks ago, and I met some really, really nice people. It's amazing what they accomplished down there. And I know it's not exactly related to the schools, but they shared their water bottle with me and their koozie, and they insisted that I take it and give them a shout out at our school committee meeting. So that's what I'm doing. So many great people there. And then lastly, certainly not least important, is the letter that the high school received. So this was shared this week at a school council meeting. And Mr. Palladino told me I could share it during Good News, but I'm sure it will be elaborated on, that the high school received from NEASC, which is the organization that accredits high schools, that the high school received a 3-year report of progress and planning, and it was very, very favorable, which is really great news for our high school. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll let the two of them fill in the details, but that is very, very good news. That's it. Thank you.
Yes, I completely agree. Very good news. Any other good news? Dr. DeAndre, yes.
So last week, Principal Sarah Russo and I met with a representative from the Gateman, and we got a little update on the lights. They have taken down the existing wooden poles on the baseball field, installed 6 new metal poles with LED lighting fixtures to each. If you've had a chance to look at them, they look pretty fancy. They did get to reuse one of the existing metal poles, and they installed new electrical equipment. So the plan is that May 18th will be the first night game played under the lights by our baseball team, so that's very exciting. I want to say thank you to the Gateman for leading that work to get that done. That was something that really needed to get done. It was, I think, about $700,000 to get done, and CPC funds also contributed. Actually, $600,000 of that $700,000 was CPC funds. So thank you to that group. And so that's good news. And they also informed us that on July 27th, they'll be hosting a literacy night. They're partnering with the Wareham Public Library to do that. So that's exciting. I know a lot of our students took advantage of it and participated last year. And I believe that they said that that game is going to be broadcast on CBS. It was CBS? I couldn't remember what network. Now, it would just be locally New England area, but they're trying to reach out a little bit more to the market outside of just the Cape and Massachusetts area, so that it's going to actually be on CBS television. So I thought that was pretty exciting. So they're looking forward. They've done a lot of work on that field. Thank you to them, and our baseball team gets to play on it. And that's the good news I have to share.
So one of the things that's remarkable about those lights that I have been told is those lights actually, and I can't speak to the old pole, those lights actually come down
They do, yeah.
for repair and maintenance and problems, et cetera, which is a wonderful thing to be able to say, as compared to forcing someone to go up, way up those poles. Yeah, it is great news, and the 18th will be a great moment. Yeah, exactly. Okay, anybody else for good news? Okay. The minutes. We've got a lot of minutes, and I applaud Jamie for getting these all to us. We are almost caught up, and this is a big step towards getting in compliance. As I said at the last meeting, we had a maldistribution of the work, and they weren't getting done on a timely basis, but we are now almost caught up. So I will take a motion to either individually or en masse approve these minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to split it into two, where the November minutes can be separate, as I wasn't at those meetings, so I would like to be able to abstain from those instead of consent for the entire
That's a
number of minutes.
perfectly legitimate thing to do. So I'll take that as a motion for the,
To do two separate bundles of minute approval, the November meeting minutes separate and the December through February as a separate vote.
okay, so you're essentially making two motions, it sounds like.
Well, one motion to split into two votes.
I'm not aware of split motions, but it's a technicality. But I haven't heard a second, so let's deal with it if we get a second.
Double second.
Double second, okay.
We're making up our own rules this
Okay.
year.
Anybody have a problem if we do it in this fashion? So, the first vote will be on the November minutes, as per the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you want to, which ones?
We're voting on the motion, correct? Not on the actual acceptance of the minutes. We have to vote on the motion I made first.
So you're not making a motion to approve anything, you're just making a motion to split it?
To split it into two
Okay,
votes.
fine. Okay, all those in favor again?
Aye.
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 500. Okay. Would you like,
Now make a motion to accept the November minutes.
okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Any edits? Anything? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Abstain.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, 401 for the November minutes, Jamie.
And can I just add how detailed the superintendent interviews were in the notes?
Yes.
That was very commendable, so
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, great notes. I also appreciated that. So we now have December and January, 1 January and 1 February set of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I think Roger got there first. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed, abstain, 500. Thank you very much, and thank you, Jamie. Okay, I think we're finished with the minutes. Priscilla, are you in any hurry tonight? No? Great. With everybody's approval, I'd like to ask our athletic director to come up and present his report. He has a long enough day. I thought we should let him present his report.
Good evening, everybody. This winter was exceptional as far as records broken, wins, loss. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like that since I've been here. We had boys basketball. Aaron Cody has now the school record for most points. We had 2 track records broken by Ingrid Bedoin. We had a third record. Was the other one? Girls basketball, she scored 1,000 points, and numerous people made all-star teams, and we're getting recognized by the Boston Globe, several of our kids and coaches, Coach Vaniel. So it was a pretty exciting winter season. And it was very happy. I'm very happy with the way things were going, and I'm very happy with also the way the games are going as far as attitudes with people watching the games and everything. I think it's come a long way with a lot of people. It's been a lot of fun. It was a very, very fun winter season.
Any questions for our athletic director?
I just have one question. You know I'm going to have a question. The on the spreadsheet, the expenses, and so were the gates for the basketball games, did they go down, or was it about the same as it's been?
No, they went up.
Oh, they did. Okay. Okay.
Well, you'll see, if you look at it, you'll see, what is it? There's two numbers there. And they paid us MIA gave us $4,000 back, which was shocking to me.
Yeah.
So we raised almost 10,000 on regular games, and then another 4,000 from the tournament. So we made 13,000 some odd dollars. I think that's, I don't know, I'd have to really look at it, but it's got to be one of the better years.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And you mentioned all the recognition that the players get. It's nice to see the coaches get recognized too, because they do a great job. And Coach Faneuil,
like I said, my office is Rainier's, and he is constantly working hard at it. And it's no doubt that's why his teams. He has good players, but he also does a good job of working at it. And it's nice. It's nice to see that. A lot of our coaches are. We have some very happy with the coaches, and everything in general has gone pretty well.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
April?
I'd just like to make a comment. I always love seeing the average GPA of all of our athletes, and I must say every year I'm impressed with the grade point average that our student athletes maintain throughout their season. So I love seeing that number, and I think it's a true testament to the school and the effort that they put in to continue to play.
It's impressive for me, believe me, to see that all the time, and a lot of our coaches monitor their kids, and make sure that they're doing the right things and all that stuff, and then it pays off. I mean, we have very few kids that are ineligible, throughout the school year, and a lot of it has to do with it being monitored by the coaches. So they're very pleased with that. Yeah, that's quite an average for 119 kids. So.
So 3 quick questions. One is the participation rate of our student body in athletics.
Yeah, I had that last year. I don't know if I could do that again. It was,
Just around, is it where you want it to be?
well, you could be more. There could be more. What happens is, we don't have enough for our varsity teams. We just don't have enough for the younger teams, so to speak, is what it comes down to. And I don't have the answer to that. I mean, the school is not a big school, so that plays a little bit of a role in it. But we have some sports that have a lot of kids, and some sports, although this year was pretty good. I mean, both soccer's had a decent amount, and volleyball, field hockey struggled a little bit. Boys basketball was good. Girls basketball was up. Track is okay. The spring here, we're just about surviving with baseball. And I know your numbers were down this year, right? So, I don't know. It's not easy as far as getting the younger kids, I think. We should try to maybe a little bit more focus on getting some of them to play, I guess, too. It's like that's our JV and freshman teams. We just don't have a lot of kids. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I was just hoping for more, given the fact that we don't have any fees. And that would have discouraged some.
Well, hopefully you don't go back to that, because I think that'll.
I don't think we have any plan to do that.
That would
At least,
really
I
hurt,
think
I
I can
think.
speak for my colleagues. It
That's
has
really
not come up in the budget process, I can tell you that.
Good.
Do you find that club teams affect your participation in certain sports, like a family, like dedication to like elite sports in certain areas?
Well, for example, on the younger level, like 8th graders, a lot of them, they could still play that club sport all the time. When you get to high school, you don't play that during the season, so to speak, but the younger kids do. So that hurts them a little bit. That hurts
Well, I
us
know
a little bit.
it tends to affect cheer a lot. I know when I was coaching, it was a big thing, and now there's a lot more programs that are keeping older kids where they used to age them out. So I didn't know if you saw that with like baseball or with other teams as well, like with AAUs
Yeah,
and
well,
things like
well,
that.
For example, with the younger kids, baseball right now is AU, and we have 8th grade teams, 7th grade teams, so on. So I'm sure some of the 8th graders are just playing that and not playing here. Because it's a crazy schedule. It's like, because I have 2 grandsons in that age group, for like 40, 50 games. It's crazy. So, and that starts March, and it goes all the way through till July. And then there's basketball. Again, I have kids doing that. It hasn't been an effect. What we did in basketball, which actually worked out, we had the 8th grade kids, basically we were our freshman team. And what we did on the weekends, because that's when all the tournaments are and everything, you could do that on the weekends, Monday through Friday, you had to come to us. And then because I don't want to take that away from them, they're only in 8th grade. So it worked out pretty good. They ended up playing both ways. You know what I mean? It's a lot now. Sports, I'm not saying I like the way it is now. It's all year round. They want you to play all year round, which I think is a little crazy. I think you should favor your sport that you're good in and play, but play the other sports. They all have some good significance on you playing your sport that you like. I just think that too many kids I'm just going to play baseball. I'm just going to play basketball.
Well, there's also studies that show that if you play, the repetition injuries are higher in students that participate in one sport only throughout the year instead of playing other sports where their muscles and their muscle memory is more well-rounded. So I read a lot of studies of that when my son was playing football, so.
I just had to speak on that. I was at a panel I was just on. That's why for an hour in New Bedford, we had a bunch of us talking about different things like AAU, playing one sport. And it just drives me nuts. It's in December and they're trying to make this kid go to a baseball practice. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this is basketball or hockey or whatever, and so my grandkids are in that age group and we just tell them during basketball, it's basketball. During baseball, you go to baseball and then if you can fit basketball in, you fit basketball in. But it's, some of them, no, it's all year round. And I think, I'm not saying that really helps them. I don't know, maybe a little bit, but I think injury is more of a factor. And there's just some kids on one of my grandsons' age, his shoulder's gone already. Because he's playing like 70, 80 baseball games. You can't, it's too much. The way it is today, they want you to play on all these travel teams and all these games. And now when you get to be 17 and looks like you're going to be a good college basketball player, whatever it is, I get it. Really go after it. But when you're 12, 13, 11, and these things aren't cheap. These things, look into it, see how much they're charging these kids. It's outrageous. Not to mention, you go to the tournament, like basketball, they play in different places. They're charging parents $25, $30 to get in to watch 12, 11, 10-year-old kids play
Plus the travel.
basketball.
The travel to get there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just talked about that. Matter of fact, I just said this came from that. But it is what it is. But I've been very happy with the progression here in many ways, not just wins and losses, but attitudes and things of that nature have been really good. Really excited about that.
Thank you.
Okay.
April, I think you're 100% correct. Yeah. So, 2 quick things. Are the coaches, are you able to find coaches committed to the sports? Is that a stable situation for you?
There are some that are really committed to it and some aren't as committed to it. That's, as an athletic director, you try to find a person that has passion for that sport. Well, that's 2 things I look for is, I like to hire people from Wareham that went to Wareham High School first, because I think they have an investment in the town and in seeing these kids do well. And the next thing is the passion. Do they have the passion for that sport? That's the next biggest thing. Because if they have the passion, it's going to run off on the kids, and they're going to put more time and effort into it. That's what I look for.
I think this is about our, 3rd or 4th year in Mayflower, something
Yeah.
like that. Scheduling matches, games, etc. How has that been?
It's a lot more work on my part as far as, boys
Is it-
basketball's independent.
I
I'm just
know.
doing that right now. And you gotta get 20 games. And,
Is it manageable, I guess?
yeah, I mean, you just.
People
you
want
try
to play
make-
Wareham.
Yes and no. Like, the good thing with the power rankings is, boys basketball is able to pick up, like I just picked up for Ian today again. New Bedford and Brockton are playing us again. St. Mary's of Lynn dropped us. So it's like, I do that. Girls basketball, I had 2 schools drop us. I'm like, really? They did well last year. And so now we got to pick up games. Even the league is small, as you know, yours is ridiculous, but some have like 4 teams, 5 teams. So that means you got to get at least 12 games. Boys basketball, I got to get 20. So and it is what it is. I mean, I came from New Bedford where we had us, Brockton and Durfee with a league, and I had to get 16 games all the time. So, and once you develop relationships, that's what I'm trying to do now is keep that.
I don't understand why they're dropping girls basketball because girls basketball did well. Power rankings doesn't make sense.
Believe me, it doesn't. See, when I was coaching, I would have probably at New Bedford, I wouldn't have played a Fairhaven or a Wareham, for an example, because they beat us, which they might have once in a while, I'm sure. It would make me look bad, and I wouldn't get anything out of it. But now, Wareham's power ranking was better than New Bedford's this year, I think, and better than Brockton's. So when you're playing in Wareham now, it doesn't hurt you. Now, in the sports that were not as strong, we try to go with teams like that. Those teams, I'm trying to just make the tournament. You know what I mean? And right now, in the spring, every team's in the tournament. So I've been pretty happy. So you, coach, your team's still in. So the teams are in the tournament. So, Mayflower League it's different than the SC. I'm not, it's not as competitive, no doubt. But I think it's helped us. Let's put it that way, for sure.
Once again, thank you for a great job. Anybody have any other questions for our athletic director? Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Ed.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Bye.
Priscilla, you're on.
So to start off with sports, the boys and girls track team both have a record of 2-2. We had our last normal dual meet this past week, and now it's on to conference and states and other invitationals. Softball has a record of 7-5, doing well. The last home game of the regular season is May 18th. Boys baseball has a record of 8-6. They had a great win today and had a 6-game winning streak so far. Don't want to jinx it. Last home game for the normal season is May 20th. Boys tennis is also doing really well with a record of 12-2. Last home match for the normal season again is May 19th. And girls tennis is also doing well with their 4-10. And last home match is May 18th. And then for DECA, we got back from our ICDC trip about a week ago. We had 4 students compete in school-based enterprise, which we explained the selling of both our concession stand and the school store. And then 6 students went on leadership to learn skills to build our club better and professional skills after high school. For NHS, new members are being inducted on May 18th, I believe. We have a lot of new incoming freshmen who have earned their spot there. Drama is working on their Mean Girls play that will be held on the weekend of May 29th to 31st. Seniors, commitment day was almost a week ago, so everybody has either committed to college or their after high school plans, whether it's a workforce, military. We have our Instagram page of everybody who's committed. They're still being posted, so check that out. And then other things, we have the art show May 21st and spring concert May 20th. And then this week, AP testing has started, so many students have been working hard with that, and it will continue into next week.
Questions for Priscilla? The DECA trips, they're not cheap. Has that been an issue at all this year? No.
If you put in the work for it to go, you definitely get out of it. Personally, I have fundraised all this year, and I made probably around $900 from our auction that we hosted. If you put in the work, it definitely pays off, and you can definitely go, and the money's not a factor. Or, it still is, but it's not as big a deal as people seem, because that's, the big thing that drives away. But if you put in the work that you should, then you'll get it out.
Thank you. Okay,
Well, I was going to ask her one, if you don't.
sure.
Have you made your commitment yet?
I've committed to Bentley University.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a fine.
Good for you.
Okay, principals, come on up.
Where did you say?
Any volunteers to go first?
You want to go in order, or do you want to go out of order?
Only Ed can go first.
Excuse me?
I can go first. I'm okay with that.
The floor is yours.
Sure. First and foremost, can you hear me? Am I good?
Yes.
Okay. The event that we just came from was excellent.
By the way, great job.
Oh, thanks.
I know
It's
you
more
said
about-
you didn't know many people, but you got great information.
I did. I did have a lot of great sources, so that was very helpful. I do appreciate it. But it was a great event, I think, as a community, as a learning community, to recognize people for 20 and 30 years and their retirements as well. So it was nice to be there and to have all of that experience in one room is an impressive feat for the town. So it was nice to be there for that. So thank you for that opportunity. Also, on a different note, last week our students and staff attended a friendly competition at Tabor Academy for the unified sports. That all students had a great time, as well as the staff that attended. Teacher Appreciation Week we've been celebrating throughout the week. We had a Taco Monday, and they also had a snack cart during the middle of the week. So we're continuing to celebrate our teachers and all of the great things they do for our school and our learning community. We do appreciate everything they do each and every day. It is a challenge, and they meet it head on, and we appreciate them not only this week, but every day throughout the year. Our student attendance, we have a rate of 93.78%, and our staff attendance rate was 95%. Some school events, important ones that we have had was the talent show, which was a great success. I was a little worried about it because I've heard about prior events where they were long, super long, like several hours long, but they really did a nice job this year. They had every student have some practice time on the stage beforehand. They had a DJ that was kind of keeping everybody on track for the timing, and it ended up being about an hour and a half, and the kids had a blast, and the audience was incredible. So it was a lot of fun. So thank you for all those that attended and all those that participated. We also had STEAM Night. Again, if you haven't had a chance to go to any of the events, this one for me was incredible as well. So much work went into it that we had so many people within the community, the police department, the fire department, a number of different organizations came in and set up booths to inform our students. We had a whale in the gym that kids could walk through, and we had learning opportunities about bike paths and how to wear a helmet and how to fit a helmet, and the water, the ecosystem. So there's a lot of different resources available to our students to really explore science, technology, engineering, and math. And was great to see. They had a little passport. They went to every station. They had to get their passport stamped, and it was all self-driven. I was so impressed with how little I had to do for monitoring student behavior during that event. They were all engaged playing with robots and Ozbots and getting their picture taken as a baseball player, and it was a really, really fun event. So thank you to all the people, all the members of the community that came out to support us. We had over 700 people in attendance at the event, and like I said, after the event was over, it was like there was nobody there. Everybody was so focused on working and enjoying the time that they didn't make a mess of the place. So that was always good, right? It's always a good indicator. Also, let's see, Hooray for K is coming up June 17th at 5:30 at Wareham Elementary School. We also have a spring play date for preschool for children aged 3 to 5 on May 11th from 5 to 6, as well as we have several dates for that. So May 11th will be the first one. And then we also have the 18th from 10 o'clock to 11, and May 27th from 10 o'clock to 11 a.m. as well as June 8th from 4 to 5 p.m. So that gives us a little variety of opportunities for families to come out, meet some new families, see the school, have some fun and some interactions with peers. Curriculum highlights. MCAS is well underway. We just had our grade 3 math MCAS. We had a visitor from DESE come out on the 5th, and they also finished up the math assessment in 3rd grade on the 6th.
I'm sorry, what was DESE doing there?
They come out and have a visit. They randomly visit schools throughout the process.
Just observe.
Just observe.
Okay.
Came
Do
for a
they
visit.
file a report?
Yes.
But you haven't got it yet?
No.
Thank you.
I will submit that to you when we do get that.
I did get some
Oh, you
feedback
did?
that it was excellent. It actually said that was one of the best schools that he had visited.
Nice, very nice. That's the kind of feedback we like.
Let's see, NUIA is well underway for our students throughout the months of April and May. We also have some field trips coming up to Planetarium. Grade 1 is going to the Planetarium on May 6th and 8th. They've already been once. And then May 14th, grade 2 will be going on a field trip to Buttonwood Zoo.
Nice.
Any questions?
Just 2 quick questions. One, do students take AMCAS and NWEA testing in the month of May? Do you think that's test overload? It just seems tough in that 1 month.
It is. They do spread it out throughout the month, so they kind of give them a break between.
So is the purpose of, and I know there's multiple purposes, but is it also to help us with MCAS, right? And to predict how we're going to do in MCAS?
I think it also shows their growth, so we see it throughout the year.
Okay, so
it
it's
does-
another measure of growth.
Right.
All right,
I know.
It seems like a lot
We
of
do.
serious testing in that
It
month.
is, for sure, for our
and
older kids.
Second
definitely.
question, much easier to answer maybe, is Taco Monday?
Yes.
Okay, just wondering.
Didn't want to interfere with Taco Tuesday was testing day. So.
Oh, got it, okay, thank you.
See what testing does to us?
But to Kevin's point, NUIA is supposed to be formative, yes? Seems relatively late in the year to be formative. Is it formative?
Well, it is, for sure, and it's just a matter of the extension of the school year as well, so that's part of where we get
Okay.
the later testing.
Any other questions? Yes.
Well, I guess, I don't know if it's a question, but I just wanted to say I was really disappointed that we had to miss STEAM night. There was another event that night, so we couldn't be there. But I will say, if there are any other events going on, please let us know so that if we're able to attend,
Absolutely.
I would love to know.
By the way, you said you left out art when you were defining it. I know it used to be STEM, now it's STEAM.
Art.
Was there art there as
There
well?
was, yes.
That's-
They had an art exhibit going on. They were making thumbprint designs as well. All the kids had all
Okay.
hands-on.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Anything else? Okay.
thank you.
All right, well, good evening, school committee. On behalf of Wareham Middle School, I'd like to say congratulations to our students of the month. For 5th grade, it was Roxanne Viola. 6th grade, Rosaline Enright. And for 7th grade, Isla Phillips. Along with elementary school, the middle school attended the Tabor Day Unified Sports Day, and we had 30 students that attended that event. It really was a fantastic event that showcased the power of inclusion through collaborative athletic competition. This event invited an opportunity for our students to build leadership skills and foster meaningful community connections, reinforcing our commitment to our school culture where every student belongs. Our attendance rates for students for the month of April was 94.46. Our attendance rate for our staff was at 96%. We do have 2 school events coming up here in May. The first is our grade 4 orientation night. That's going to take place at 5:30 p.m. on May 14th. And the Student Council is also sponsoring a Wareham Middle School talent show, which will take place at 5 p.m. on May 21st. This past week, we were able to highlight our straight A students and we had our high honors breakfast. Our cafeteria was completely full with family members celebrating. I'd like to share that we had 85 students who earned high honors in term 3, which we all know historically is a very hard term. We had 108 students earn honor roll and 52 students earn perfect attendance. Right now, Wareham Middle School is currently under testing conditions. We're keeping the momentum up. Today, our 7th graders took their first session of the math MCAS, and tomorrow they take their second session. Next week, it will be 6th grade math and our 5th grade science. I'd also like to thank the families for all of their support. Our students are arriving on time. Their Chromebooks are charged. Everybody's ready. They feel confident. And I feel like it's been a good experience so far.
Thank you. Questions? Yes.
Do you have a high percentage of families that opt out of MCAS testing?
No, we do not. I've only had one family opt out.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to commend you for having that breakfast where you're recognizing those high flyers and especially the attendance, and I think that's important to highlight, so thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Palladino.
Thank you. So we had, ironically, our honors breakfast for term 3. We have to spread it out between 2 days because the cafeteria is only so big and we have a lot of kids making honor roll. We recognized over 200 students that made honor roll. On Friday, May 1st, we had our grades 8 and 9 students there for honor roll. And on Monday, May 4th, we had our students in grades 10 through 12. And we had over 200 people between the students and families there for breakfast. It was a great event. And appreciate all the staff and Ms. LaPeria for making that happen. And it was a really, it's always a great event. And as Sarah mentioned, you know, term 3 is really a tough term. And for that many kids to make honor roll, it's, I think, a testament to their effort and, you know, them being there every day. So appreciate that. Our attendance rates for students for last month was 94% for April. Our staff was at 96.8. Some important events going on. I think Priscilla kind of mentioned them both, but I'll reiterate, we've got our senior prom this Saturday, promenade starting at 4, and we are at the Ridge Club in Sandwich. I'm looking forward to that. We've never had a prom there, and the place is beautiful, so it should be a great time. And we have our, as Priscilla mentioned, we have our induction ceremony for the National Honor Society on Monday, May 18th at 6 p.m., and Dr. DeAndrea and I will both be there for that. We're at the midway point for MCAS, which is kind of crazy to think we're only at the midway point. But here we are, and we've been doing a lot of testing every week. We have completed grade 8 science, civics, and ELA, and grade 10 ELA. So if you're keeping score, we have grade 8 math, grade 10 math, and grade 9 science left to go. And the only good thing with all these snow days is we'll have a good buffer between the last MCAS and the first final exam. So that's a kind of one blessing, I guess, from all those snow days if we needed one. And that's my report from the high school.
Questions? Is there the perception of how seriously the students are taking MCAS changed from last year to this year?
Well, last year they didn't need it to graduate either. So has it changed from last year to this? No, I haven't seen a change.
Okay. I don't know whether that's good news or bad news, but.
I think it's good news.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Priscilla, do you have any comments on how your fellow students feel about MCAS?
No, I haven't.
It was required when she took it.
Yeah, I haven't had to take it in a couple years, so when I took it, it was like required to graduate.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. Palladino, you're still up.
I'm here, and I have a message from my student advisory committee. Unfortunately, my student advisory committee is very, very busy, and after school and during school, and sometimes we don't get everyone during school because they have a DECA meeting or they have best buddies or something going on. But we have been able to meet, and they currently, actually, let me tell you about what they've done, and then I'll tell you what they're currently doing. But they have As I mentioned, we meet during advisory, and we meet twice a month. And we've had the opportunity to look at some school initiatives. Most recently, they've been reviewing potential courses that we are looking to run for the 26-27 school year. As you heard, they are the ones that send out the survey. But we moved past the survey, and now we're looking at the request in Power School to see what needs to be offered, and obviously in conjunction with department heads as well, to see what we'll be offering for next year. I think we're moving forward with that now that we understand the level of staffing that we'll have. I feel like their feedback has provided some really good insight into the academic needs and opportunities that we offer or should be offering at Wareham High School. In addition, they have been identifying and discussing potential physical improvements throughout the school building and campus that would be obviously completed over the summer. The summertime offers us a great time to do some physical plant type projects, and they've identified the need for another water filling station. So Priscilla, I'm sure you and your fellow students would appreciate that, so the students don't have to walk too far and miss too much class time. So we're working on that and a few other things as well, and they'll be instrumental. And a shout out to the town. Appreciate the money we're going to be able to receive to replace some doors. They'll be helping me with that project as well, to identify the doors that are used more often and need to be replaced. So hoping that work can be done over the summer as well. They've been working collaboratively on recommendations for revisions and updates to the student handbook, which ironically 2 weeks from tonight we'll be presenting to you. And so they've been mulling over some things there that we want to work on. It looks like about 5 or 6 changes will be coming your way for a recommendation 2 weeks from tonight. And that's kind of what they've been working on behind the scenes at Wareham High School.
If they were here, I would ask, or maybe I'll ask through you a little bit, just, I'm almost concerned about, not concerned, but I'm curious on the cell phones, with the policy in effect for a while now. How is it in the classroom with cell phones? Are they?
I think it's not perfect, right? It's definitely not perfect. These students are pretty high flying, as you know, and it's not an issue for them. And they're also, the two that come to school committee are upperclassmen. So it's there's some classrooms where it's never an issue. And there's some classrooms where occasionally it's an issue. And it really depends on the follow through from the teacher in regards to the procedure. We have a great procedure in place, but some teachers don't want to deal with it.
So what happens to those? How does that addressed?
Well, it's addressed by administration. We've been in over 600 and some odd classes this year, and when we see it, it gets documented in the evaluation, it gets brought to the department head's attention, and there's conversations. And if it was habitual, they'd have a one-on-one conversation with me. Again, it's not perfect, but it's, I think we have a good procedure in place when it's followed. And some teachers follow it to a T, and the majority do, and there's no issues. It's not as rampant as one would think. We have time in the hallways where they can use the phone. We have time in the cafeteria where they can use the phone. So there's plenty of opportunities to send out that message or check your Instagram or see what's going on. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens for next year. I just hope we don't get like an August 15th notice that this is a new procedure coming down the pike.
So that's my question. It's making its way through the state legislature. Is what we are doing now in compliance with what is making its way through the legislature?
No.
So what would we have to do to get into compliance?
You'd have to ban cell phones from the high school.
Period.
Period. Handbooks are in 2 weeks, by the way. 2 weeks from today, we'll be going over the handbook.
So is it your understanding that would mean that if a student showed up when they walked through the door, that somehow we would know whether they have a cell phone on them?
Well, they wouldn't be allowed to have one out and about, is my understanding, that they would have to be.
If it was kept in a jacket pocket or a purse or whatever.
I'm not searching.
You're not searching, obviously.
Unless it's a distraction in the classroom, maybe it's going off.
And then they take it out during lunch, for example.
It's not allowed during the school
Not
day
allowed.
at all, is the proposal.
Okay, So is it your understanding if they took it out at lunch, which is a pretty benign activity, that you'd have to take it from them?
That is my understanding in the other states that have this as a law. Zero tolerance for cell phone use during the school day is basically paraphrasing the way it's written.
That's your understanding?
That's my understanding.
Okay. I'm trying to imagine this being enforced. Did I see a hand for a question?
No, it's, you just answered it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's something
Go ahead.
to worry about when and if.
It looks like it has
passes.
momentum.
It definitely has momentum.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kevin.
My second question was just about, in general, bigger topic, but AI in general, and how it's either a benefit or a problem, and where's that going to go? It's a big issue.
It's a huge issue, and it's tough to identify as well. So, you know, we have a committee that meets every 3 weeks on our site-based management group that is discussing AI, its impact on education in our school, and potential protocols to moving forward.
At some point, can that committee kind of report their,
Absolutely.
maybe not the conclusions yet, but what they're
Sure.
finding?
They're actually, they'll be done meeting shortly, so that might be a good June meeting for them to come in and give you a report.
Yeah,
over
just
there.
curious.
Hopefully they can tighten a few things. It's,
Right.
as you would expect, it's kind of still pretty broad in its range.
Okay.
But to that, there are no laws, regulations covering this issue.
Well, we've got plagiarism in our handbook, right?
Yeah, understood, but it goes beyond that.
Right.
So are you inventing the wheel in terms of how to cope with this? Or there are lots of areas where you can go to where your colleagues have struggled and maybe succeeded? I mean, how are we coping
Sure.
with this?
Well, I think, honestly, the district did a great job of getting some PD. We've spent, at the high school, probably about, 12 hours of professional development for our staff. And I'm not saying that's enough, but I think we're ahead of the curve on this to a point in comparison to other schools. We spend a lot of time, we've had, I think he's the AI education guru come down. Greg has been down to the high school. He's met with teachers in small groups. He's done a PD for the high school and middle school, full day in service. He's done a lot to support our staff in embracing this and trying to educate our students how to use it appropriately. And I think that's the way of the future. We have to embrace this, and we have to be willing to show students that when it's appropriate. Now, I will tell you anecdotally, I would be coming close to running out of paper. And I've done a deep dive into why all of a sudden this year I've lost. Basically, we're down to about, and Kristen knows, we're down to about 20 cases of paper, which Ricky Cleveland, my head custodian, says will get us through the end. But I'm trying to figure out why I don't have any extra to start the summer school. And I'm finding out that more teachers are going back to more traditional assessments and not allowing students to... the rubrics are back. Not allowing students to use the technology because they're trying to curb the usage of AI. So it's interesting, you know, they say everything's cyclical, and we're seeing us kind of going back to a little more traditional version of assessments, just to make sure that the students are truly learning, that our formative assessments are accurate, so we know how we're doing from a curriculum standpoint, versus someone maybe being able to search AI or use Google to answer
I
questions.
think colleges are doing the same thing.
That's what I understand.
I think Kevin's point is well taken. Let's put that committee on the agenda sometime in June. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for Mr. Palladino? Yes.
So how about calculators?
Sure.
You're allowed to use calculators?
Absolutely, and on the MCAS, they're able to use them on their Chromebooks, so absolutely. But I think our teachers do a good job of making sure the students understand the fundamentals needed before they can rely on the calculators. And I think that's done probably even more at the middle school, that they have the fundamentals, so it's not something that they bypass those fundamentals to use a calculator and never learn how to add, subtract, multiply, et cetera.
Okay, the high school annual requests.
All right, well, thank you for allowing me to be here and present to you our annual trips. And I appreciate the opportunity to expedite these trips, as we have so many traditional trips that are happen every single year, and I think it's valuable for us to do these en masse. And this document really hasn't changed since the last time I presented it. These are.
Which document are you looking at
I
now?
was hoping the annual overnight trips was shared with you.
Okay,
What?
it is.
In our
Okay.
packet.
That's actually the third bullet. Do you
Oh,
want-
I'm sorry. Let me
You
stay in
got
order.
the prom and the senior
Oh, good.
privileges.
I can get my kids out of here. They've got a lot of homework to do back there. So let's good. Let's have the junior class
Okay,
come on up.
welcome.
We've got Giacomo and Sawyer and Miss Gomes that are here representing the junior class, and they are going to take this presentation over.
You want prom first?
Sure.
Our prom is set to be May 1st, 2027. What? That was the date that we did that. Again, you kept putting 2026, so I kept.
And it was the 15th.
Okay, sorry. May 15th, 2027. It's going to be at the Loon Pond Lodge at Ted Williams Camp in Lakeville, Massachusetts.
I saw that.
Yeah, I have seen some pictures of it. It looks very nice for our senior prom. It was, I believe, pretty affordable, right?
It's very affordable.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
Yeah, when I did the pricing, that includes DJ, photographer, a photo booth, all of our decorations. Loon Pond has a great pricing rate point. Our meals are only like $35, so the rest of the money is for decorations that they're going to add for us, because I know you guys have pictures, but there's like the circle ones that are up there and all the lights that are on the beams, they are throwing that in, and that's part of our price. We don't have to pay for the room. It's just for the food and whatever decorations we want to add to it. So they gave us a really great price, and it's a beautiful place.
And I want to just thank the advisors, I know Sam's there as well as a co-advisor, and the students, because I don't make it easy on them, and I think I say probably the same thing every time we're here. I require them to have it on a Saturday because I don't want a prom to disrupt the school day. And I can tell you at other schools, it disrupts many days. The day before, the day after, because a lot of schools have their senior prom midweek because of the pricing. So the prom venues really want to have weddings. They don't really want to have proms because there's no bar with us, and that's where they make their money. So it's not an easy job, but I think it's an important one, and I think for families, it's a lot easier to support your child on a Saturday versus having to take a day off from work or leave work early and rush to the promenade. Hopefully the weather cooperates. We're keeping our eye on that for this weekend's prom. But these guys have done an unbelievable job, and you know, in talking with the students and their advisors, they identified, I think they narrowed it down to about 3 locations and really did a nice job to find a very nice place with a very affordable price point. And I'm excited about the location because I always get nervous when kids have to drive very far.
Exactly.
This is a win-win, and I just want to thank them for the work they've done. And again, I'm very excited because it's another venue I haven't been to for a prom. I think some of these prom venues I've been to 5 and 6 times, so I'm really excited, and it looks great. And I saw the pictures online, and I just again want to thank them for the work they've done to be here tonight.
Okay, questions about the prom?
I love the fact that it's a Saturday. As someone I've been up to my neck in prom hair for the last couple of weeks for a lot of area schools and for a lot of the salons in the area. It's very difficult when, you know, you have kids that have after school and very limited window before they have to get ready. So I love that we do ours on a Saturday. I think it is great to be able to go to the promenade and see the kids and, you know, then let them fly. So I think the venue looks great. I think you guys did a really good job, and I don't know if the students did the help with the presentation of how everything was written out, but it was really very informative the way you guys put that together. So good job.
Well, I have to give most of the credit to GV and our the president of our student council. Our class, which is Brianna.
She did a lot of the work, and I know she put together a lot of the tours for everything. We weren't a part, we didn't do a lot of the tours. She unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, so we had to fill in for her. But we definitely appreciate all the work she does for us.
We're lucky to have a good class
Yes, we are.
president.
Anything else on the prom? Yes.
I just had a question, but you might have just answered it. So you said you didn't visit the venue, but someone in your
Not
class
personally.
has?
There were other people in our
Okay.
in student council who did for
Okay,
us.
okay.
There is a picture of the three of them actually.
Oh, no, I believe you. I don't need to
Yeah.
see a picture. The pictures are great. I didn't even know this place existed.
I didn't
so-
either.
I'd never heard of it either,
Yeah.
actually.
Same.
Yeah,
Neither did we until we found it.
okay.
We were more on our senior trip. We were more just focusing on that.
Okay.
While we kind of split up into two groups, which is why we don't know as much about the
Okay.
prom, because we did not personally do that information.
All right, thank you.
So my only concern is the fact that I love this too much. Have they done it before? Have they done a prom before?
Yes, they have done proms before. They also do a lot of sweet 16s, and then they also do weddings.
So why have we never been there? It's a great location.
I don't think I think it's fairly new, right?
I'm not sure on when it came up, but I know that our kids had a very specific aesthetic that they were looking for, and they wanted the exposed beams, and there's only like 4 locations, and this was one of them. So like when we were searching, this is what we looked for, and we knew we had a small class.
So the venue they're not rookies.
No, no. It's a beautiful venue, and the place where we're going to be able to do photography, like the hour before prom actually starting, is gorgeous.
Okay?
The gazebo, and Sam's going to run that like pre-prom photography so they can be outside, because we can't be outside once the function starts.
I'm thrilled with your presentation, and I'm optimistic it's going to be a fabulous prom. Do I have, are we ready for a motion?
I move to approve the class of 2027 prom proposal.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Budget? No? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? 500.
Thank you.
Okay, senior privileges.
No, they have
No,
their
the
senior
class
trip
trip.
as well.
Well, I know they do. I was saving that for last. and
That's a
this-
separate one.
Oh,
That's annual trips.
You're right, sorry, separate, thank you. April, as usual, keeping me on my toes, okay?
So the senior trip is for Universal in Florida. It would be April break, right?
Yeah, I believe.
April vacation.
During April vacation.
They have a grad night specifically for high school graduates, and that means that they do lower the price for the groups. This is the option that our class voted on. So this is our current school trip.
Yes. So the price is approximately $1,800, but the fundraising that we've been trying to do, a lot of our class isn't doing all the fundraising opportunities. So we're trying to
come up with an option that's more reasonable for everyone instead of just for the students that signed up for the Universal trip. Because even though the class voted on the Universal trip, not everyone has the financial means to afford it, which is perfectly reasonable. Which is why we're trying to come up with a backup plan just in case, so that we might be able to have the ability to bring more than just part of our student body, and that'd be more of it, like most of it. It's our alternative.
Yeah, so right now, we do have some kids who are signed up for this one and have been fundraising. We have a couple of kids who've already fundraised over $100 for this trip, but we're going to do another vote with the kids. So right now, this is our trip. We are looking at maybe just doing the New York trip like the senior class is doing this year, but we still got to see if we
How
can.
many students have signed up for it?
We had 20 kids sign up for it,
Out
but
of the
only
class?
then 107. It might be about 110 now, because I just did get like 5 new juniors in my classes, so I got a lot of kids this last 2 months, so I don't
I'd
have
be
the-
upset if we asked you to come back.
I'd be upset because the reason they only have 20 is because this isn't a real trip yet. And I think what they need is the motivation that it's been approved so they can sell this and get kids excited about doing fundraising. As Ms. Gomes said, this may not fly, but what they're looking for tonight is approval so that they can get this out to the kids and get kids excited and see if we have enough students that are willing to do this. Other classes have tried in the past, and some have succeeded and some haven't.
Dylan's class tried to do a Florida trip. I think Indiana was very big on attempting, and they ended up, I think, at Six Flags, so.
And they may, but what they're looking for tonight is approval to move forward with a price point from the company saying that we have approval, and being able to display that and advertise that to students, that this has actually been approved and this is happening. And they may, it's very likely that they may have to come back and say, you know what, we just didn't get enough kids that were interested, and it may be because of the price point. And I think they're willing to recalibrate if needed. But tonight, they're looking for approval so they can move forward to see if we can garner enough interest from the kids to make this happen.
We haven't been able to send it out to parents yet either because it's not approved, so we wouldn't send it out yet.
Right. I am concerned about the price point for a senior class trip that's supposed to build class unity and celebration of a group together. That's really prohibitive, I think. That's my worry. Anyway, it's not that I don't wish you guys have a great time and whatever you decide is a function for your class.
Well, they have a year to raise it. For next year's senior class.
It shouldn't be fundraising your whole high school career. It seems like there's a lot of fundraising going on.
I think that with budget cut, that's every school. I remember my senior trip, we were supposed to go to Mexico, and at the end of it, only 5 students were able to go, and we got lumped in with a school from Texas because we were the only ones that fundraised and were able to make it happen. Me and my 5 best friends had the best time ever with a whole different school that we weren't a part of. Ended up being a grad trip instead of a senior trip, but it was still a very memorable experience. So I think if they need the approval to at least start to move in the right direction, I vote yes for that. I would.
And the sooner they get the approval, the more they can defray this over multiple months to make it somewhat more palatable. And they're, as I told Carolyn, they're against it right now. It's tight right now. Usually you want close to 12 months so they can kind of spread that payment out over 12 months. And the companies do allow you to do that to make it, hurt a little less.
So my question is, a lot of the trips that have come before us lately are through a company, and you're able to budget your payments, which does make them more affordable. So if we approve it tonight and you contract with whoever the company or travel agent is, and students pay money in, then if you decide not to go, can they get their money back?
So the company that we are budgeting with is the one that's also doing the budget for our alternate trip. So there'd be the same company, same everything.
Even if it ends up being a trip to New York?
Yeah,
It would be the
she's working on
same?
budgets for that too. I have her running so many different numbers. She's working really hard for us right now. And I send her every other week. I'm like, wait, try this, see if we can bring it down. Try this, see if we can bring it down. And she gets me a new quote within 24 hours every single time.
I just wouldn't want to see kids ever pay in and then have to pay a fee, get charged something for getting the rest of their money back or something like that, which we all know can happen, right?
You've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, COVID.
So, along the lines of what Jeff was saying, I would vote to approve it, but would just ask that you come back, I don't know, in the,
Fall.
what is this? We're already in May. Yeah,
be
maybe in
great.
the fall. Give us an update.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me ask it a different way. Could we approve something that would make it real, but it wouldn't necessarily be the trip that you've described? In other words, we're approving a senior class trip for certain dates, okay? And that so that would make it real, and then you would come back to us when you're excited about where you actually want to go and how much it was going to cost.
I think this is where the majority of the students would like to go, and the cost
But
is...
can they afford to go?
Well, that's what we need to determine, but we'd be more than happy to come back in the fall and report out where we're at. I think I know where this is going to go, but they really want to try and give it an effort and see what happens and see if they can be inclusive of a large portion of the senior class.
What if our approval was contingent upon a certain number of kids signing up for the trip? In other words, that would essentially say, if you manage to get, what's a good number? 50? I don't know. 50 kids who say, yeah, I can afford this, I can do this, then great. But if you're stuck around 20, 25, 30 kids out of a class of, let's pick a number, 100, that doesn't sound like a senior class
How
trip to
many
me.
kids went on the New York trip?
I've
Of
got a
the- of
full
last
bus, so I
year's?
want to say 48,
And how big was that class?
about 100, like maybe 105.
So never, the full class never goes
No,
on a
even
school
going back
I'm not
to,
expecting a full class.
Oh, I know, I'm just trying to
Even-
gauge like
yeah.
what the
There's
percentage of
kids
students
that-
that participate in
right,
general.
there's kids that just don't want to travel. I've done 3 senior class trips in my tenure, not as principal, obviously. And, we always would get, it was like maybe, if you can get a third of the class, you're pretty excited. There's kids that just don't want to, first of all, get in a plane. Okay, believe it or not, there's a very large percentage of kids that have never been in a plane that attend our high school. They're fearful of that. Certainly there's a percentage of kids that just look at it and say, I'm not doing that, or their families may not be willing to do that. And that's, unfortunately, that is part of it. You've got other kids that have plans and, they're going away with their family, or they're part of a spring, maybe they're on the tennis team and their coach is telling them they have to be at practice. So you've got different, so I think the reality is, like, if you can get a third, and we'd always bring about a third of the senior class, and we were pretty happy with that. Even, you look at DC, I know it's maybe not comparable, but it's similar, and, we get about a third of the class to go there, and that is, I think, a pretty cheap price point for 4 days, so.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell us before I ask if there's a motion?
I think that's it.
Okay, does anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve the senior trip for next year.
Okay, do I have a second? Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more questions, comments, any thoughts? Okay,
Well, guess I would just ask if we want an update, we don't need to make it part of the motion.
No, they're
We
coming.
want
We will be back in the fall.
to, okay, all right, good.
I can
Thank
promise you that, one way or the other.
All right, good, okay.
okay, we have a motion and a second. No further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay. Reluctantly, and I want you guys to have a good senior trip somewhere, but 1,800's a ton of money.
Yeah, I have to be a nay, but it passes anyway, you'll be happy to know. And I share my colleagues' concerns, but I look forward to having you come back in the fall.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great job, guys. Go do your homework.
Lovely, can't wait to do that. Good job, guys.
Thank you very much for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're on to senior privileges.
Okay, so,
Joyce's favorite subject.
I was just thinking that.
I was just
So-
thinking, I hope they don't say that again.
I think that's like 3 years in a row, Joyce. That's getting old. So we certainly appreciate the support we've had in the past with the senior privileges. And I just want to kind of set the table for the type of kid that is on senior privileges. This is the type of kid that's on senior privileges. Priscilla Ross. They have to have 95% attendance or better. They have to maintain clean discipline record, clean parking record. They need to maintain a high GPA. They cannot have any D's or F's in any of their classes. They cannot have debt. They have to have parental approval. These are
Not have debt.
debt. So they can't owe the school different things like.
DECA kid,
Well, DECA kids really don't get the debt until the end of the year because they're figuring out all the fundraising. So
Okay.
it's kind of by the time that debt comes in, it's a moot point because the seniors are winding down their last few days. So it's really, we're fortunate enough to have Priscilla here. It's really high achieving students that have a very high GPA, are taking advanced level courses, and most of them, not all, but most of them use this as what we would call a study hall in the library. They are preparing for their AP exams. They are preparing for different assessments, projects, et cetera. The privilege does allow them, if they choose to leave school for that period, but it's only for that one period. And it's not a large percentage of kids. It might increase now that the weather's getting warmer, but most of them in the winter don't go outside. It's a small percentage. The majority of them are in the library taking care of business. You can understand why, especially if they have to park in the back of the school, they have to go in and out through the front door. So it's a little bit of a walk. So it's been a tradition for a lot longer than I've been there, and it's really worked out well the last 15 or so years for our students. There's a lot of accountability. The deans check it. Every week they check on the list, they check on the grades, the attendance. Every term they get their report cards, they go through it. So there's a lot of filtration to maintain your senior privileges. Some students only have it for half a year. Some students may have it for a full year, but it's not the whole senior class.
What percentage?
I'd want to get back to with an actual, I would guess about 55% of the seniors. But I don't want you to take that to the bank, but I think I'm pretty accurate.
Okay. Priscilla, you want to be part of the sales job for senior privileges?
I think it's like a very fair trade-off. Like you've worked like all year through your like up to senior year, and it's one thing that I know people look forward to every day. And honestly, it's like a motivation. Like, oh, I just have to get like, especially if at the end of the day, I have it at the end of the day. It's like, oh, I just have to get through this one more class, and then I get to leave a little early, and it's even nicer. And I know sometimes me and my friends will go sit somewhere and work on our stuff. And it's very helpful to know I have that period to be able, if I need to do something, I have that extra time to work on it. Well, also, if I just need a break, I can do that. And I just think it's very rewarding for the people who deserve it because, like Mr. Palladino said, it's not given to people who have disciplinary records or if they're failing classes, which I think is very fair. So if you were to take it away, you're taking it away from the people who deserve it and not the people who don't deserve it.
I also want to stress that I am going to be having trouble filling schedules, and when you can take a 12th grader and not have them in a class for a period, it potentially frees up classes for other periods, and I am telling you right now, I am having a lot of trouble finding spots for students to be educated next year based on the level of staffing that I'm anticipating. So that's another maybe sales pitch for you.
No, it's a good point, though.
It was always a good motivator for Dylan. Between that and football, that's what, he graduated and did well.
He did really well.
Okay. Questions, comments from anybody?
Motion to approve senior privileges.
Second. Are we really finished with questions and comments? Yes?
Well, do you want me to just, for those who haven't heard my spiel before, I just.
No, you don't
with
need
all
to
due
repeat it. It's up to you.
Well, I just want to say, with all due respect to Priscilla, you just made a really good case. But I just have to stay true to my belief that, having kids out driving around is not a good idea. So for that reason, I will vote no. But I just want to say to you, Priscilla, you just made a really, really good case for it.
Okay. With that in mind, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain? 4-1-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, finally, the annual trips.
All right, thank you. And again, as you said, you have this in your packet. These are the traditional trips that we run every year, and rather than present them individually every time we're coming up to one of these trips, it really worked out really well last year, and I appreciate your willingness to allow us to get these approved kind of en masse. And these are our traditional trips. Obviously, if there's something not on here and it's overnight or out of state, we would certainly come back to present to you. But these are traditional trips that happen every single time on those months that are identified. And you can see that we have the Key Club, which does a great job of going to Casco, Maine to work at Camp Sunshine, and they do that every Labor Day weekend. Obviously, DECA Regionals, is in January, and then the Key Club does a second trip with a second group of kids to Camp Sunshine in February over vacation. We have March, DECA States, traditionally in Boston, and then April, the Key Club has their district conference in Springfield, and that's usually over a weekend. They leave on Friday and they come back Saturday night. April, we have the DECA ICDC conference. The locations vary. They seem to be like between Atlanta, Orlando, sometimes California.
I think next year it's California.
Yeah. So it's kind of like between the three, they rotate. I actually like Orlando and California as locations for them. I'm not a big fan, no disrespect to Atlanta, but
This year, DECA had a contract with Atlanta where they had to it was for 10 years or so,
Right.
where they had to have the conference there for so long. And then after, I think this was the last year of Atlanta, and now it's continued. The next 3 or so years are California, Florida, California.
nice. I think those are better cities for our students. Our Washington DC trip is going to continue to be, this year it'll be in April. I have the exact dates if you're interested. Our JROTC goes to Fort Devens, and that is every June. And then we have boys states and girls states for grade 11 students, and that's in Easton at Stonehill College. And then we have our Hobie Leadership Awards that's in Waltham on June 10th. So those are our traditional annual field trips that we send students, and you can see to the far right the number of students that are impacted by those trips.
Questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Could I have a little more details on the support at Camp Sunshine?
Priscilla, have you ever gone?
No, but a lot of my friends have gone. It's just
Not a lot of people go.
Yeah, it's a really rewarding experience, I've heard. It's totally free for them to attend, and it doesn't take away from school at all. It's during vacation or over a long weekend, and it's just a way families with children with who are terminally ill or had a lifelong disease, they get to go to that camp and get sponsored, and there's lots of fun. You get to mentor a certain age group. Oftentimes you'll have one-on-one with the kid too, and it's just a really good experience, and the kids and their families get to go too, so they get to spend time together along with the students at our school who get to mentor them.
She did a great job. I just looked it up. Everything she just said is on their website. She did a great job.
It's sounds like a powerful experience.
The kids love it, and some kids they try and rotate different kids, but some of the kids chomp at the bit. If anyone doesn't want to go, they want to go back.
They cap it at 4 to 6?
Yeah, they have to cap it because of the housing aspect. So Matt Stanton does a great job of getting the kids up there, and it's really an unbelievable experience. And they come back and just they talk about it and the impact it's had on the kids, and it's a great I think support for the parents that are dealing with what they're dealing with from a medical standpoint.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 500.
Thank
you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we've done Mr. Rogers. Director Flynn.
Good evening. In your packet, you have a proposed budget transfer to transfer funds from several line items in our budget into the collaborative tuition line. The reason for this is to prepay special education tuitions for next fiscal year. I'll preface that by saying that typically in the local school budget, you're not allowed to prepay for goods and services. There is a provision in the law that allows public schools to prepay special education tuitions an entire full year ahead for collaborative and 3 months for private schools. And this is a tool for public schools to be able to utilize funds that they have not spent in their budget to help them in the next fiscal year. It's a tool that a lot of school districts use. I've used it off and on throughout my career. And I can say that this year, this particular year, has been very challenging with the budget, and next year is even more challenging. And as you know from our budget discussions, a lot of it is due to a lot of the very costly out-of-district placements that we have here in our town. So in the fall, when we were analyzing the budget and looking at where we were at, Dr. DeAndrea and I talked about freezing the budget because we were concerned not only about this fiscal year and making it through to the end because of the unexpected expenses that we were seeing coming up with tuitions, but also continuing on into next fiscal year. So with that, when we freeze the budget, it's mostly all of your supply accounts, some of the service accounts. So there are enough funds to allow us to do that. So what I've started to do is reach out to our collaborative, specifically to Cape Cod Collaborative right now, to start to gather some invoices to pay for next fiscal year. We have a number of students attending that collaborative, and that's going to be the plan, hopefully. And that is the plan for the budget to help bridge some of the large deficit that we have, is utilizing funds that we have in some of our accounts like circuit breaker, extraordinary relief, prepaying special ed tuition. So there's a lot that's gone into trying to get to the end of this fiscal year and also help us into next year. So this is just one of those tools. So as you see, we're looking to transfer the amount of funds into the collaborative tuition line to get us to at least pay for the tuitions that we still have. We had another student, we've had several students get placed into out-of-district tuitions in the past I would say 2 months or so. Some of them, were accounted for in the budget because we had some move-outs, and some of them were not. So we've had to make that up and try to make that up. So the accounts that I am proposing transferring from, a lot of them are supply accounts, some contract service accounts. And it's just looking at the budget lines in the various school budgets, the fields and grounds, some district-wide, that I can see that we, because of the budget freeze, we won't be utilizing, and some of them that we won't unexpectedly have to utilize. You'll see that I left a balance in a lot of the facilities ones, just in case something comes up between now and the end of the year, so that we're not, totally out of money. So a lot of thought went into trying to figure out how to, leave us okay for this year and set us up for next year. So that's what you see here. I don't know if there's any questions on that. I'm happy to answer them.
We good? Yes.
I just have one quick question. If you prepay tuition based on a student who is now at Cape Cod Collaborative and they move over the summer or whatever, we don't lose that money. That would just go to another student?
Right.
Is that true?
Right.
Okay.
As long as we
Just
have
making
another
sure.
student there. And that's part of like trying to figure out where to prepay, because you don't want to prepay a student tuition that you just have one student there, because just for that example, then you're stuck. I would imagine that there would be some sort of credit, but at that point, it wouldn't come to us here in the school department. I don't think we totally would be out, but it wouldn't be helping us at that point, because now we're in a different fiscal year. So that's part of the challenge there too, is taking a chance on which students which schools that you're going to
Well, we
work
have
with.
so many at Cape
And that
Cod
is our
Collaborative.
collaborative too, and we have good relationships with the staff there, so I have a feeling, I'm confident that we work that out if it arises.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Anybody else? Yeah, I just have one question. What is our current balance in our SPED, whatever they call it, special reserve account?
The stabilization
Yes.
fund, the special ed I believe it's just under 100,000. We have not used that, at least in the time that I've been here. So the last time I looked at it, it was, I believe, just under 100,000.
And I forget, there's a process for taking money out. Could you remind me of what that is?
Yes, I believe that it requires a vote not only of the school committee, but also of the Board of Selectmen.
That's what I thought, yes. So my question is, and I don't have a preconceived answer to this, that's why I'm asking. Are we better off prepaying or potentially putting 160,000 into the SPED stabilization?
I would say prepaying, because it gives us a lot more flexibility, and then it's not, and I believe to vote money into the stabilization fund, it is a vote at town meeting. It's a town meeting article.
That's what I remember, it's a lot of rigmarole.
So, and it's not left up to just your decision. So you lose a little bit of timing and flexibility and in
I
that.
guess the bottom line for me is, and with all due respect to the town, before we return money to the town, I would like to add money to the stabilization, sped stabilization, because you know better than I do that all of a sudden we get hit with stuff, and it would be really nice to have some extra money in there. So for future reference, let's think about that as a place to put money. But I agree, prepaying makes a lot of sense, especially given what the clarification you gave Joyce, which is we may end up with a credit balance, but it's going to be used up rather quickly if the student doesn't end up going there.
And I'm wondering too, I'm thinking about the process in the town that I live in. I think if there was, if you left funds in the budget as of June 30th, because sometimes it's really hard to just come in at zero or at pick a number, because there's things that are changing all the time up until June 30th.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it would be depending on how the town administration views it, but could you take, whatever you're returning, the funds returning from the school department, and then have a town meeting article in the fall, once free cash is certified, to then put it into the special ed
Just keep that in
stabilization.
mind.
Right.
Just keep it in mind.
So-
Okay, I think we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Roger, sorry.
I had just a real quick question. So I don't know if you got that letter from that about Cape Cod Collaborative.
We did get that letter, yes.
So now, is that something, when these people are suing us, is this something insurance covers? Or is it?
So first of all, they're not suing us. I think they're suing the collaborative.
Right.
And it's not a student of ours. The collaborative was just required to let all its members know that that was happening.
Okay.
And so I'm sure the collaborative has insurance to deal with that.
Bottom line is, it's not a liability for Wareham Public Schools.
That's correct.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, 500.
you.
Thank you, Kristen. Okay. Superintendent's report.
Yeah, all I have is the approval of the bill and payroll warrants in the superintendent's newsletter.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain,
Abstain.
401.
That's all I have.
Okay. Any school committee reports that need to be made? I can't think of any.
I don't think we have any, we have to reconvene, I believe, all the committees for our next.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'll be back to you for your wishes with respect to what you'd like to participate in, but I don't think we need to talk about that tonight. All right. Then I think I will take a motion to adjourn, and we will reconvene
So moved.
for our executive session.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Thank you, everybody. All those of you who are not involved in executive session, you may feel free to leave.